the person who invented Vimeo while trying to make some Kraft mac and cheese. And welcome to the Bible Summarized Maybe Director's Commentary. I'm doing it down here because my family is asleep, and if I did it in my room, I would wake them up, and for a multitude of reasons, I can't wait for them to wake up. So let's get started with this. So if you haven't seen that video, go do that. It's kind of necessary because I'm going to reference some of the jokes in the video, and this won't make that much sense if you haven't seen it. So normally, as I did last time, I'm going to talk about what made me make the video itself. And to be honest, I don't really know. But here's my best theory. So based off the fact that I refer to all of the Abrahamic religions as cults in the video, you can safely assume that I'm an atheist because Hinduism and Buddhism and all other non-Abrahamic religions just don't exist. Now that assumption is correct, but it doesn't make that not uninformed. Now, but I am currently running a number of cults, so that doesn't make it technically incorrect. So I watch a lot of videos from the atheist sphere on YouTube, and one of them brought up the implausibility of all the shit about the Israelites fucking around in the desert for 40 years, because there would have been archaeological record, because the Bible says there's hundreds of thousands of them. So the fact that we don't have any archaeological record that they existed means that they probably didn't exist. And I made the joke, based off of how much shit happened in Genesis, I had made the joke, the Bible has some real pacing issues, which I ended up using in the video. So I think that's what made me do it, but I'm not 100% certain. And I'm pretty sure this happened while I was playing Subnautica, working on Subnautica Summarized Maybe, because I know that I had this idea before I finished that video. But I'm not sure if I had it that early on, or if I had it in the period in between when I finished social distancing and before I finished the actual Subnautica Summarized Maybe. Hi, cat. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but that's my cat. Hi. Are you gonna jump up here? I'm just gonna ignore her because she might jump up here and it'll be cute. So I thought I could make a Summarized Maybe about that, to use that joke. And little disclaimer, there are numerous inaccuracies. I did a lot of research. Most of them are intentional. So I think that if there's any inaccuracies in the video, besides the ones that are obviously jokes, you should tell me that. So cut lines. There was a line after the bit about Moses being a war criminal where I mentioned that he didn't actually exist. And all that it did was set up a joke later where I also said that Joshua, because he also committed war crimes, I said that because he might have actually existed, that that makes his war crimes worse. But when researching, I found out that he also definitely didn't exist. So that means that that joke is completely pointless. And also, I tried to write this video in a sense as if I don't even really know that people actually believe that all the shit that's in the Bible actually happened. I'm trying to treat it just as if it's any other fiction book, because that's what it is to me. So there's a line in Revelation where I say that the Crusaders would be confused by never going to give you up. This is after it's probably not a great idea to release a bunch of Crusaders or a bunch of people that died. I think the line is, I don't think it's a great idea to release a whole bunch of people that died 800 years ago into the society of 1995. But I cut that joke because A, it's not very funny, and B, Never Gonna Give You Up came out in 1987, and by 1995, most people probably didn't care that much. I don't know, I wasn't alive. So there's a bit where I use original footage from 2018, and this is probably which is probably why most of you are here, because I put a little disclaimer that mentions it, and I put an iCard in the video. Hopefully, if I remember to do that. So when I did that, I changed the line from I gotta watch the new 6 Minecraft Ninja video to I gotta watch last night's SNL. And I changed the line specifically because, first off, Six Minecraft Ninja was the old name of this channel specifically, not another old channel, this channel, which is why I referenced it in that video, because that's what the channel was called then. And also, I changed the name of the channel like a week after I did that, meaning that if I had changed the channel name like a week earlier, then I wouldn't have had to do that, because I would have had a different channel name. I think. I'm pretty sure. I still would have potentially wanted to change the line though, because I don't have a Sunday to Sunday upload schedule. At the time when I was making gaming videos and 1 minute long parodies and also a lot more commentary videos than I am now, it's a lot easier to keep a week-to-week upload schedule if all that you're making is writing down minute-long videos with the joke just being death, as opposed to anything more nuanced than that. So I changed that line because it was outdated, and there's also no guarantee that people would know that my channel used to be called Six Minecraft Ninja, and there's a much, much lower chance that people would know that I had a Sunday to Sunday upload schedule at that point, and that's where the joke came from. So I decided to just cut it and replace it with something else. So then, finally, the video was going to end with a bit where I burned a Bible. So I ordered a Bible. It didn't end up coming. Now, I decided that I wasn't going to do that, so the Bible not coming didn't end up mattering. I just used one of the other ones that my parents have for the one scene where I need to use a Bible. But I cut it, and the reason I cut it was for a number of reasons. One, because people fucking worship this book, which isn't even over-exaggeration, that's literally what it is. It's a cult. So I obviously don't want people getting mad about that, because for some reason we have way too many people that believe everything in this book happened. And then also getting the conditions of a fire permit in the place where I wanted to burn the book was like, first off, it was much more difficult than it was way more trouble than it was worth. And also the things that I needed to do, like, not like to get it, but like the conditions of like how I would need to use the fire if I wanted to were too strict to do what I really wanted to do, which was just put the book on a beach and then light it on fire, and that was all I wanted to do. And also, burning books is something the Nazis did, so that's probably not a great idea. And also, I didn't even end up getting the book, so the fact that I was unable to burn it doesn't really matter. So then finally, logistics. I edited everything from Genesis onwards, which comprises about 7% of the video, on a trip to Colorado. I just wanted to mention that because I was impressed by my ability to do that when I was being forced to do a bunch of dumb shit I didn't want to do against my will. Overall, this video took more time in terms of like days from the start of the project to the end of it than Subnautica Sunrise maybe, but that's because I was working on 2 different videos that came out in between there. I had another video, it didn't end up coming out because I couldn't get all the logistics. I had to get a whole bunch of people. I need to get a whole bunch of people to like record lines over the internet for me for it, because it's a joke about Zoom things. So maybe I'll make that video. I don't know. I don't actually know. So I worked on 2 videos in there, so this wasn't like the main thing I was focused on for the entire time. And now, Subnautica Sunrise maybe did take longer in terms of the amount of time I spent doing it, because I can't presume that overall all of the editing and writing took like 24 total hours. I would say that at most it probably took like 18, 19 hours. I don't actually count hours. I said that I was going to when I started working on Subnautica Sunrise maybe, but I don't actually know exactly how long that took because I'm a crazy person. So the only thing that I know for Subnautica Sunrise maybe is that it took at least 17 hours, because that's how much time is on my save file that I used to record all the stuff for that video. And the Bible Sunrise maybe may have taken longer, I don't know, but I think that it definitely took less time, because also when you're writing something, it doesn't need, like, writing something itself doesn't need to, like, shit. You can tell that I'm not reading what it says in the script anymore. When you're writing something based off of something that you don't know as much about, which is what I did. I had to do a lot of research for this. Whereas Subnautica, I've played twice, so I know the story of that. Star Wars, I don't think I've seen all the Star Wars movies more than once, but I definitely seen all of the original trilogy more than once. But because I know that so much better, I was able to make those scripts. In fact, so Star Wars Sunrise Baby, I don't even think that I had to do any Google research, because Star Wars is such an iconic story, and I also used to be such a huge Star Wars fan, so that was really easy. So, yeah, I guess that's it.